Hi, boys and girls. I'm back. I hope you enjoyed our story that we just read. And so now we are going to get to make a fun little snack to go with our story. You may have noticed that I'm sitting at the table and I have a plate in front of me. So I'm going to show you in just a minute all these little snack foods that I have sitting beside me. And we're going to get to use them to make a fun snack called Ants on a Log to go with our book that we just read called Hey, Little Ant! And this snack called Ants on a Log is a snack that I can remember when I was a little girl, when I would come home from school, and I would just want something quick to eat before dinner. This would be a snack that my mommy and daddy would make with me. It's very simple, very easy. You should be able to make most of it by yourself, but you may not have the same things that I have at home, and that's okay. So at the end of this video, we want you to be creative. Use what you have at your house to make your own ants on a log. Now, I want you to look right here beside me. I have a bunch of just different food items. And I'm going to show you two different ways to make the snack called Ants on a Log. One of them is going to be more of a healthy version. One of them is going to be a little bit sweeter. So I want you to think while I'm working of some things that you have in your house that you may be able to use as your ants on a log. The first way I'm going to show you is more of the healthy version. And this is the way I used to make it when I was a little girl because Mom and Daddy wouldn't let me spoil my dinner before supper, so I always had to use the healthy version. So I'm going to use some celery. Now this celery is really long and I'm not that hungry today, so I'm just going to take a knife, and if you are at home, you need to make sure that you have a parent's permission or parent supervision to do this. And I'm just going to cut it in half. Now, you could make two pieces if you wanted to. You could make them to share. You might want two pieces. I'm just showing you what to do right now, so I'm going to take one piece and set it to the side. So this is going to be my log. And then I'm going to need something to make my ants stick on my log. So I'm going to use some peanut butter. And so I'm going to open my peanut butter lid and I'm just going to get a scoop of peanut butter out. It doesn't really matter how much, but I'm just going to put some on there. Now my celery has already been cleaned. I cleaned it before I come over here to do my videos when I wash my hands. So you want to make sure if you're using celery, make sure your celery is clean and make sure your hands are clean also before you start messing with any type of food. But since my hands are clean and my celery is clean, I'm good to go and I'm going to go ahead and show you the next step. I'm going to take my peanut butter and I'm going to spread it around. Now this might get a little messy, but I'm going to spread it in the middle, kind of in that groove of my celery. And like I said, this is going to be like your glue that's going to make your ant stick. So you have celery and peanut butter, and right now this is your log. I'm going to put my little butter knife down. So the next thing I need is ants. I need ants on a log. So I'm going to use raisins. Like I said, I wanted to keep this a little bit healthy. So I'm going to use some raisins. I've got some raisins in my hand. I'm going to take my log, hold it up. I'm going to put my raisins down here so you all can see them. And I'm just going to put the raisins down the middle of my log like they're sitting. So I had 3 ingredients to use this. I had to have something for my log, something to use as glue, and then my ants, something to use as my ants. I used celery as my log. I use peanut butter as my glue, and I use raisins as my ants to make a healthy version of ants on a log. Now, that's great, but you may not have everything that I have, and that's okay. I'm going to set down that version of ants on a log, and I'm going to show you another way to make ants on a log. This is a little bit more of a sweeter version, so if you have a sweet tooth, or maybe it's going to be after dinner or after lunch, and you just want something nice and sweet, you might be able to make this one. So what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to use a graham cracker. Now, I have chocolate graham crackers just because that's what we like and we keep around here. You could use a regular graham cracker, but I'm going to use my graham cracker. You could cut it in half. I'm just going to keep mine long. And I'm not going to use peanut butter this time, so I'm going to put my peanut butter up because it's always important to clean up our messes. I don't want to leave a big mess to have to deal with later. And for this one, I'm going to choose to use marshmallow cream. You could still use peanut butter if you wanted to. You could use icing if you have cake icing or cupcake icing. I just have marshmallow cream and it's open, so that's what I'm going to use. And I like marshmallow cream, so it works. So this is going to be my log. That's my first part. My log is my graham cracker. Now I need something as my glue. That's going to be my marshmallow cream. Again, I'm just going to get a scoop of it. It doesn't have to be measured out. I'm going to get a scoop. I'm going to spread it around. Might have to get a few more scoops if you need to. That's okay. This is just something to make it stick, a little bit of a glue. So I'm going to put that to the side. Now I need what? I've got my log, got my glue. Now I need something to be my ants. So for this one, I'm going to use some chocolate chips just because I have some and they're open. You may not have chocolate chips. You might have chocolate chips. You could use them. If not, you can use M&M's. You could use Reese Pieces. You could use Skittles even. All kinds of things. You just need to figure out what you have that you want to use. So for this one, I'm going to use chocolate chips. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to take my little ants and I'm going to make them sit on my log. Now this log's a little bit bigger and that's okay. I'm going to make my ants sit down the middle of my log. And then I'm going to take my extras and I'm going to put my extras over here. I can eat them later, throw them away, put them back in the bag because my hands are clean. Whatever I want to do. But you have two versions right here of ants on a log. You have a more healthy version. You have a little bit of a sweeter version. And now you get to make your own version of ants on a log. Remember, you're going to need 3 ingredients. You're going to need something to be your log. You're going to need something to be your glue. And something that will be your ants. So there's 3 things that you need. You can make yours like mine if you want to. You may use some of the same ingredients I use. You may not. Maybe if you don't have anything to use as a log, you can use a granola bar. Maybe you can figure out something to do with a cheese stick. Maybe you could even use a hot dog of some sort. But be really creative, and we would love to see your creations of what you use to make an ants on a log snack. Have fun and make sure you share your pictures with us. Bye, guys.